They say game. What's going to happen? Welcome to Austin, Texas, and DKR, home of the Texas Longhorns. As we'll see a squad from the Big Ten, the Penn State Nittany Lions, taking on the 12th ranked team in the land, the Texas Longhorns. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. The Longhorns will get us started with the opening kickoff. He'll bring it out. It's Williams. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. This is what we expected. This crowd ready to make its presence known. The give to the tailback. On the move at the 30. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
When you talk about creating big plays in the running game like this makes the game really easy. Actually, when you've got a guy like this that you can hand it to with this much speed and elusiveness, just hard to bring down in the open field. What a big game for the offense.
Runs through a tackle. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to...
Lets it fly. Makes the catch down the right side. And he gets a big chunk of yardage to the 34-yard line. The Nittany Lions come to the line with a new set of downs. Gonna run it. It's Hawkins. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
Quick touch pass to the receiver. Inside the 25. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
And how about setting the tone right there? Like, you're going to cover this guy coming across the field, get it to him early on the first drive, let him know this playmaker is going to be touching the ball early and often, and he picks up the big game.
The Nittany Lions didn't start this drive with great field position, but they have moved methodically down the field. They get him stopped after a 2-yard gain. Ball's at the 17.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. How important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Quickly complete. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
Well, you hear all the time that the tight end's the QB's best friend. You saw a perfect example of it on that last play, right? Second down, you need to pick up some positive yards to keep this third down manageable. Really nice job of executing.
On the direct snap, it's Hawkins. And this Wildcat is going to be declawed, stopped in the backfield.
Well, the offensive line had everybody blocked except the defensive end. He was able to sneak into the backfield and get the tackle for loss.
And so on their opening drive of the game, they want to stay on the field, and the offense will go for it on 4th down. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. This offense wants to get out of the gate fast on their first drive of the game, plus territory. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He's got him. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's 1st and goal from the 8. They were easily within field goal range there, but they don't feel like you can win this game 3 points at a time.
No, pass. I mean, you got to be aggressive. You got to get touchdowns, man. You've seen the emphasis. Defenses are willing to give up yards now to make you kick field goals. I like this offense being aggressive. Forget the 3s. We need 6s.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
The run up the middle, looking for the score. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Nittany Lions!
I think what you love about that opening drive for the offense is the balance. They were able to throw the football to set themselves up into position, and then he carries it in for the TD. You got to be able to keep defenses on their heels, and they did a nice job of that on this opening drive.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. On the run from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. On the move, it's Gibson. After the pickup of 9, it's 2nd and 1.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Longhorns can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. The run to the left. Chain gang on the move. It'll be a 1st down at the 29.
Well, it's an offense that prides himself on being physical. No mystery there. You need 1 yard, turn around, hand it off, let him go to work.
Now on 1st and 10 from the 29. He'll keep it himself. Can't get him to the ground. Finding a way to put that foot in the ground and get it up to the 37-yard line.
I suspect we can see that same exact play. They make it look really easy, running the option down the line of scrimmage, QB making good decisions and keeping them in good 2nd down situations.
And the Longhorns with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. And he earns a 1st down, and boy, did he earn it after taking that lift.
All right, nothing flashy there. He just did what it took to get the 1st down.
And the Longhorns are on the move. From the shotgun, the inside give. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, there's a statement by the defensive line. 1st down play, expecting run, and they just dominated up front. Beat their one-on-ones and forced a tackle for a loss.
Makes the grab. It smothers. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down marker.
Quarterbacks love the short passing game early in games because it really helps them get into a rhythm. So a nice job by the offensive coordinator giving his quarterback an easy throw, something he can see, and something that he knows he can complete.
Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. The Longhorns send out the punt unit. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. Good job by the coverage team, and that's how we'll end the period. We've reached a break, and Penn State is on top. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. They've swapped ends of the field, and we're ready to go in the second. So first down here as they go back to work. The lone back's got it. He stopped after getting a yard out to the 30.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Back to pass. Catch in the middle, it's James. And they'll move the chains and get it to the 47-yard line.
The defense needs to have a plan for this guy. They weren't ready for that one. Drag route running all the way across the field, and the DB just can't stay with him because of his speed, and as a result, they give up a big one.
Off the play fake on first down. Lions trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Looking to fire. Grab behind the line. It's Hawkins. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
Well, it's important in this game this offense gets the running back involved out in the perimeter in space where he can do some damage. That time they got it to him. Throwing the football, picked up a couple of yards, but it gives the defense something to think about.
Horns up and ready to hook them. Serious noise on 3rd down in DKR. Takes a shot. Complete downfield. He'll go out of bounds inside the 40. They'll mark it at the 39. The Nittany Lions have it with a 1st and 10. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. Takes it the other way. The 20. Touchdown, Texas! And they turn it into a defensive score. The DB saw it. He thought, don't drop it, don't drop it. Then thought, don't get caught, don't get caught. And he didn't. The pick 6.
Hey, these guys can play offense, too. Now, look at this. I showed you I can be a wide receiver. Coach might split him out at wide receiver next week after making that big play. But defense, great job making the interception. And you're right, doing something with it. Don't just slide down. Don't be content. Take that thing all the way back.
Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. This possession will be a test after squandering that long drive, throwing a pick 6, Jesse.
You're right, Reese. Well, I think this is really dependent, too, on the leaders in this huddle right now to step up and help this offense get back on pace here on this drive.
Yeah, and this defense is frothing at the mouth. They're excited. They're jacked up. They just made a big play. They got all the momentum, so they're ready to hunt.
The Nittany Lions now with a long way to go to pick up the 1st down. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Got a man in the middle. And he's down at the 41. That's a 1st down. Last completion moved the sticks, and let's see if they try it again. To the air on 1st down. He wants to take the top off. Wide open, he makes the catch. Touchdown, Penn State! He found some open space and turned on the Jets.
quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge. And also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times, touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Fielded in the end zone, it's Gibson. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Here comes the Texas offense. They find themselves trailing by a touchdown and a chance on this drive to even the score. Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
And this offense on first down, man, they go backwards. And they built a deficit, and they've been sluggish. And they just need something to get going, to get started, because they've kind of looked out of sorts and out of rhythm this whole game.
Looking to pass, it's Lacy. Unloads to the wideout. Intercepted, and the defense has set him up. Finally brought down, but what a play, not only to get the football, but to flip the field position with the return.
That's a bad decision by the quarterback. In that area of the field, you have got to be careful. If the guy's not wide open, you've got to throw that football away, because not only are you getting it picked off, but he's returning it now down close to your goal line and setting his offense up in great field position.
The Nittany Lions racing to the line in the hurry-up. He'll run it to the right, looking for the goal line. And he takes it in for the score. Down, Nittany Lions!
This guy just has a nose for the end zone, and you love his ability to find creases, use his speed in the open field, and go score. He's been really good for his offense early this year. That already his 5th rushing touchdown on the season.
And right down the middle. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. He'll take the return, try to get better field position. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Longhorns sending the offense back onto the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game, so, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Brought down at the 28, but it's a 10-yard gain.
Really nice job there by the quarterback understanding it's blitz, and not just that it's blitz, but knowing whether it's man coverage or zone coverage behind the blitz. You've still got to know where your answer is going to be based on what the defense is doing in the back end.
Turns it on down the left side. He's at the 20. Touchdown, Longhorns! And once he got away from the D, they had no shot at catching him.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, gets you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy, the connection between quarterback, wide receiver. You can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
He'll bring it out. It's Williams. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. snap. It's Wilkins. Defense played the Wildcat very well on that one, stopping them for a short gain. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Wants to go up top. Caught over the middle. It's James. Now they've got a little room to work with. They're out to the 28 with a first down.
Guys, you never want to sound the upset alert bell too early, but might be time to at least know where the button is for it.
Know where the button is, and listen, there's no need to panic yet, but if you're the unranked team, just like this, when you're playing a better team, you want to come in and you want to hang around, Jesse, and they're doing just that, staying in this game and have a lead.
Yeah, the unranked team, they've been playing with more intensity in this one, and I think if you're a leader right now on the ranked squad, you've got to be talking to your guys and waking everybody up. This coaching staff is going to have to make some halftime adjustments, but they're going to have to give an earful to their guys to come out here in the second half and start making some plays.
And it's a first down. They'll mark it at the 44.
Man, this quarterback is having a first half. He's over 200 yards already, heating up, setting up. Dude, this dude might break his career high in passing. I don't know what it is. Somebody get stats for him.
He wants to throw it again. Finds a man on the right. And he was on his way, and they get him down at the 30.
And he makes another big play for this offense. And, man, if I'm this defense, at some point I'm going to learn my lesson. We're in the second quarter. He's already over 100 yards. Like, I better start committing some resources to this guy, or else he's going to break some records because he is putting up some numbers on the day.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. The quarterback's a little more on target there. Maybe they hook up, but it's an incompletion. DKR heating up and trying to make 3rd down impossible here. They'll leave it with the lone back. They would not let him get close. Stopped at the 26. It'll be 4th down. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. And they'll send out the kicker to try a field goal. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. Just drives it between the uprights. And that lead grows even bigger.
And I like the way this defense just finished. And I know they're trailing, but they didn't give up the touchdown. Got a little bit of momentum. Not much time left in this first half, but you got halftime to make some adjustments, come out with some energy, but a nice stop here.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. He wants to change this route. Looking to throw, it's Lacey. Sends it downfield. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Well, on defense, they know that this offense is going to try and take shots. They're going to try and keep their secondary players in a position to make these types of plays. Good job on the back end forcing that incomplete.
Oh, he's got some space. They get him down at the 36. It will be a first down. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Looking to throw on first down. Pocket breaking down. Pass is incomplete. The clock is down to 9.
Well, the offensive line has got to give him at least a little bit of time to survey the field. He had no chance that time, getting hit almost immediately after he got the ball.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. He leaves it with his back. And the defense able to get him down, and that should bring us to the end of the half. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update. The Nittany Lions will try to kick this one deep to get things underway in the 2nd half. The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. And here comes the Texas offense back on the field. Maybe adjustments or attitude adjustments, but they've got to find a way to run the ball at least some here in the 2nd half.
I do think you said something that's important. I think running the football is an attitude. Like, it starts with the offensive lineman being physical, having a nasty attitude. Running back, same thing. I think they need more of that in the 2nd half.
You know, and I think if any of you are this defense, you have an opportunity to make a statement here. Yeah, I know you guys went in at halftime and you riled yourselves up and you told yourself that you think you can run the ball on us. On this very first drive, we're going to prove to you, just like in the first 30 minutes, you can.
Breaks into the open.
Defensively, you'll take the slow down. You'll take 3, 4, 5 yards of pop, but you can't give up the massive plays. You got to do a better job containing the football, making them run to guys, and get them on the ground. For goodness sakes, this guy is fast, I know, but defensively, we got to swarm to the football and get him on the ground.
We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Finding open areas. Pass the sticks and still on his feet. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a 1st down.
Well, you wonder if one of the adjustments they made at halftime, trailing in this game, was to try and get the ground game established, David, and they're off to a good start here.
Dang right. Stay patient. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to press. Just try to get scoring drives together. Don't abandon the run.
Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a 1st down.
1st down, you know you always want to establish the running game. How about this offense? Nothing fancy. Run the football. Be physical. Get a big gain.
Looking for a gap. It's Jackson. He's tackled right at the 10-yard line, and they're trying to cash in on this drive. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a 1st without scoring. Pulls it on the bootleg fake. Using his legs to buy some time. Couldn't quite hang on to that one, and this red zone defense came that close to forcing a turnover. 3rd down coming up.
Ooh, quarterback lucky that one wasn't picked. You got to be really careful down here in the red zone because these windows are small and defenders close on the ball. That one should have been an INT.
They'd love to pick up this 3rd down and get a fresh set with 1st and goal. Back to throw, it's Lacey. Oh, it's picked off. That's not the start they hoped for. Takes it back to the 24-yard line, and this defense loves to feast on takeaways. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Hands it off. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
And this team needs more of that, man. This is a really close football game. You've got to get these stops down the stretch and meet the physical challenge of this offense, and they do right there, man. And that's one step closer to getting this football back and maybe making this thing a football game.
It's a nice play call there. You've got 2-possession lead. You're trying to keep the defense guessing, right? Because you've got that lead, they know you're going to run it, but you still have got to be able to sprinkle in some shot plays and some vertical throws. That was really, really good thinking on that last play call by the offense.
Looking downfield on 1st down. That's caught. It's Anderson. They'll get him at the 45, but he got 10 on that one.
The defense has got to be able to make a play at some point here in the second half. You're down 2 possessions. You need to steal a possession badly. You need to have a takeaway. The coverage is going to have to be way tighter than on that last throw. Otherwise, this offense is just going to go up and down the field.
My job is to make sure that ball comes loose, and I got to go through that guy, use my shoulder pad, drive my feet, and really be physical, because if he bobbles it at all, or as soon as his hand gets to the ball, you can tell the difference when that body jerks forward and that ball starts to come loose and pop out.
They just keep firing. With the catch, it's Reynolds. Oh, what a big play for this offense as they get it to the 33-yard line.
One of the things I love about the passing game we've seen on offense so far here is just how good the decisions have been by the quarterback. He's not being too greedy. When the shot plays have been there, he's taken them. They've scored points because of that, but he just takes what the defense gives him, and you're just whittling away, and you're marching the ball down the field. Really good decisions by the QB.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
Horns up and ready to hook them. Serious noise on third down in DKR. He wants to throw it. A little screen to the running back. Across the 25, he's got room. Touchdown, Penn State! And they take it in for 6 more points. No step back in week 3. They have been sharp as they extend the lead. That touchdown grabbed the 25th of his career.
Not surprising either. When you've got this guy's ability at that position, quarterbacks are going to be looking for you. 25 touchdown catches, that's an impressive figure.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those guys that have been so big time. Big time moments, clutch plays, makes those contested catches. He's a guy that can do everything, and that's why he's putting up such great stats.
It bounds through the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Back to pass, it's Lacey. Quick screen to the speedster out wide. Turning it on! Out across the 45 and out of bounds at the 46-yard line. A big pickup here as they try to put together a scoring drive. Big play like that to open a drive just builds the confidence. Now first down from the 46. Wants to throw on first down. He's taking the shot. And they won't make the connection, looking to make a big play there.
And that's a really good job by this defense being dialed. And you got a big lead. You know exactly what's coming. This offense is going to have to make some explosive plays down the field. They were ready, they were disciplined, and made a good play on the football.
Out of the gun to give to the back. They'll pick up 5. It'll be 3rd and 5.
And defensively, one of the most important things is stopping the run, being physical up front. That was too easy for this offense. You can't give up 5 and 6 yards a pop on the ground. That is a recipe for disaster. They got to be more physical, get off the ball, get downhill faster.
Keep the foot on the pedal if you're on offense here. You got that yardage. Yeah, you didn't get the first down, but you've set yourself up now to go for it here and keep this drive alive.
Trailing by multiple possessions in the 3rd and desperately needing a score, they'll go for it on converts on 4th down. Still going. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
Wow, and that was just a bang-bang play. On that fourth down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a little extra mustard on it, and he shows you the arm talent on that throw.
And he was able to work his way for just a few, and that will do it for the third quarter. And talk about spreading the ball around, everyone getting a chance to show off the hands based on the number of targets we've seen. And it looks as if we are ready to get things started here in the fourth quarter. It'll be second down as we open the final stanza.
Check, check. White 94, Snyder choice. White back 88.
Out of the gun, the running back has it. And look, this guy has some serious moves, and he tried all of them and still didn't get loose.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
From the 36, a third down, and you wonder if they're willing to take two plays to get the first. Quarterback making checks. They're looking to get the edge with this one on the toss. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Down in the fourth quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on fourth down.
Black 93 Wizard, Indy.
Wide receiver going in motion. They're throwing for it on fourth down. Finds him out of the backfield. He's going to be run out of bounds, and he needed a couple of more steps. They'll turn it over on downs. And they are stopped on fourth down. That decision will be questioned. They'll run it from the gun. Makes it past the marker. Nice pickup on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks with the first down.
It's a point in the game, I think, as a coaching staff where you really challenge your offensive line to go win the football game, right? We've got to lead late. We're going to run the football. And the defense and everybody in the stadium knows that's what's going to happen. Can we run the ball down their throats and impose our will? That's what this offense right now is trying to do.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
Gets it out fast. Really nice pickup on that one as they get it to the 36. It'll be first down.
Defense just hasn't had an answer for this guy. He has been on point. This is about as good as I've seen him play at the quarterback position. And here in the fourth quarter with the big lead, he's still taking shots.
And he avoids the hit and slides after the short gain.
Well, you're making a positive out of a negative. And that time, quarterback, nice job, buying time. He's trying to throw the football downfield. Nothing there. So instead of throwing it away, getting the incomplete, just get what you can get and make this next down more manageable.
Little touch pass to the receiver. Spins away from the defense. There he goes. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
This offense has a lot of different ways they can attack you, and you're going to see the entire playbook at work in this game. Throwing it, running it, and getting guys the ball out on the perimeter. Great job.
They'll try the run. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and leading the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next.
And here comes the heat, and they get home, and they get him at the 21.
Those outside linebackers nowadays, they're so fast. They got to cover ground. You can blitz them off the edge, and they can get after quarterbacks. Versatile. That's why they're getting drafted so high in the NFL and getting paid all that money.
He'll take a shot. Intercepted. They were back in their own end, and they stopped the drive. And they'll get him down after a solid return.
So we're saying there's a chance, Reese. I know it's not a big chance, but you got the ball back now. Maybe your offense can get hot. You can create some turnovers, maybe get an onside kick. Who knows? I'm saying there's a chance.
He got the first down and more. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
I think it's just too little too late, David, at this point. That's a play that they could have used a lot earlier in this game, but because of miscues, they're down by a lot late, and I don't think they're going to have enough time to claw back into this one.
Yeah, and I'm fine with you running that play if you want to do that. My goal now is with this lead, if you want to run it, so be it, but just don't give up the big plays. Let that clock continue to roll. Make him earn it all the way down the field and take a lot of time off that clock.
Backed up now. Here's second and long.
Single. Set. Ready.
They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
They just haven't been able to get much going in this game. The defense has definitely had their number, and here they are late. You're asking yourself, why are they still running the football, trailing this much late in the game? But that's basically a microcosm of how this game has gone.
They've got to come up with a big play on this third and long. They'll send the back in motion. To the air. It's Lacy. Wide open downfield. Turning on the Jets. Touchdown, Texas! Hauled that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score. That is what we call in the industry a defensive breakdown. That guy was loose for the big play.
Busted coverage, really bad execution. Somebody slips, somebody falls. Nothing about that defensively is something you're looking for, but the offense will take it and get the easy touchdown.
Penn State sends the offense back onto the field.
That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you got to be able to finish drives, especially in this game if you're going to win. And, David, they've got to be able to eliminate the mental mistakes.
Yeah, and I don't think you get conservative or play it safe. You can trust your guy. I think you put the ball right back in his hands and let him do his thing.
They might go back to that one in a big spot as they pick up the first down out of the Wildcat.
Well, this guy's a weapon, throwing it and running it, and you know he's going to try to hurt this defense with his legs.
It puts so much stress on the defensive line to chase him and the fact that the play is extended so long.
Yeah, if they've got a spy defensively, if someone's athletic enough to run with this guy, that's going to be maybe a sound move moving forward schematically.
They'll keep it on the ground. They want this clock to move. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9. Went to the running game on 1st down. Now here they come again. He's got it again. Brought down after keeping those powerful legs moving, getting all he could. He'll be a few inches short.
There's not a lot of mystery what you're going to do on offense at this point of the game. With the lead late, you're just going to lean on your star running back. This is a guy who is going to play on Sundays at the next level. Just keep giving him the football and just let him take this thing over.
They'll turn to the Wildcat to keep this drive alive. On the snap, it's Wilkins. They were all over him, nowhere to go as that 3rd down play turned into a disaster. So on 4th down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot. Timeout is called with just 2 seconds left to go.
Timeout, Penn State.
Running out the clock seems to be a mere formality here as they are ready to snap it in victory formation. Defense still has all 3 timeouts. Offense about to take a knee. Maybe everybody's content with where we are heading to the break. Guys, this is a story we see every single year in college football. Ranked teams